Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. We have another video today. For those of you that do not know us, my name is Nafi and this is my husband,
Lee.
Today we wanted to talk about a topic that I've been meaning to talk about, the assumptions that people make about interracial relationships. So this is just from my personal experience. Disclaimer, it's just from my experience, my personal experience, things that people have said or hinted at. So yeah, let's get into it.
Not everybody goes through this. It's just from our point of view.
Yeah, we're not saying every interracial relationship may experience this, but these are just things that we have experienced, and things that I want people to stop making assumptions about. Number one assumption that I've noticed, people assume that you don't like yourself or you don't love yourself because you're dating someone of a different race. And that is definitely not true. When people say that, I joke and say, they're like, oh, marry your own kind. Well, my own kind would be what? A Black African female, right? So when they say, oh, marry your own kind, so you want me to marry another, is that what you're saying? Like, I know that's not what they're saying, but that's just, the smart mouth in me. But yeah, like when they say that you don't love yourself, I want people to understand that, like, we didn't go looking for each other's race to date, right? Like, it's not like I went on AsianCornerDating.com or something looking for an Asian guy to date. Honestly, Lee was the first Asian person that I had a real conversation with. Like, my experience with Asian people were, from where I grew up, were the beauty supply store. That's just the honest truth,
She wanted to buy hair from me. I could sell it. I don't do nails either.
Whatever.
That was one assumption. They thought that I was only her beauty supplier.
Who thought that? But yeah, like, we didn't go looking for each other, so I know that there are some people that they're like, oh, I only date this type of person, I only date this race people. I know that there are people that say, oh, I can't date an Asian person, or I can't date a Black person. But that's not the case with me. Like, who was going to be my future husband, babe? Like, who?
I don't know.
You do know.
I have no idea.
Who did I have the biggest crush on when we met?
Sam Cassell. Google Sam Cassell.
He's a liar. That is a definite no. You are a hot mess, Lee. I swear. No. I can't even talk now.
You keep going.
Who was my biggest crush?
I don't know.
Yes, you do. Basketball player. Not Sam Cassell.
Well, I'm not in the NBA.
Anyways,
so...
It was Dwayne Wade. Okay, so like, honestly, like, growing up, I thought my husband would be, a tall, dark, handsome. I mean, he is handsome. So it wasn't like I was looking for an Asian person to date. So when people say, oh, you don't love yourself, or, why would you date an Asian guy? I fell in love. I fell in love with another human, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. If your preference is to date within your race and that's your ultimate goal, that's okay. But don't just assume that somebody does not love themselves or somebody is a traitor to their race because they dated or they are married to somebody that's not the same race as them.
Yeah. I feel like I was growing up, I was very, very, I wouldn't say I was very shallow, but I was trying to make everybody else happy. So my thought process when I first started dating girls was, I was like, there was a lot of girls that liked me back in elementary, middle school, high school. Like a lot of girls liked me. But I kind of had that mindset that I'm gonna, just like she says, right? I was just gonna date within my community, date, within my race, date within my own kind, right? And so I kind of let a lot of girls go, per se, just because I felt like I wouldn't be able to have a relationship that would probably be prosperous in some fairy tale way within my community. So I dated Hmong girls. I would say that I even told myself that I was just going only marry a Hmong girl. And when I was like, I would go to New Year's and I'll see these girls with like interracial relationships and stuff at the New Year's, and I'm thinking to myself exactly how she was saying it, right? Why didn't that girl date a Hmong guy? Or, why did she choose to go outside, her community to get with somebody else, right? And then I was thinking about it. Now that I'm in my own relationship with someone who's not Hmong, I just basically was racist towards my own people. Now that I think about it, that my thought process was very, very closed-minded to the fact that...
Wait, you were racist towards your own people?
Yeah, because my thought process was like, I was hating on that girl for no reason other than the fact that she didn't date another Hmong guy.
Oh, okay.
So.
But but that's not being racist.
I guess it is.
That's just hating.
It is a form of racism because I felt like she chose a different race other than mine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, in a sense, I felt like I was a racist. But now that, okay, I
don't consider that to be racist, Lee. What the heck? You were hating. You were hating on the fact. You were hating on the fact that she was with a guy that was not Hmong. Like, you felt hurt. Which
I wasn't hurt.
You were hurt. It's kind of like you're like, what the heck? Like, why?
I honestly could care less. But I felt like I could say it. Well,
it wasn't racism. It was like you felt like, oh, we're not good enough type thing. And I get that because
no, I wouldn't say we're not good enough.
No, is that what was when you saw?
I think my thought process
when you saw somebody that wasn't with the Hmong guy. What did you think?
I think my thought process was more like, could she not have found somebody? You know what I mean? So like instead of me being open minded to see that, hey, maybe she found love and
I feel like that's the problem with a lot of people.
And so. Yeah, and that's how I was back then. So I can honestly say from that point of view exactly why some people would feel that way.
Yeah, definitely.
But like a while back before I married my wife, one of my nephews actually put it perfectly to me that growing up, we are brainwashed by our parents to believe that your own kind is the best kind. Mm-hmm. But now that I think about it, right? What is the percentage of divorces within your own community to the percentage of divorce in an interracial relationship, right? When you look at the percentage, how often do you hear about the people that do get divorced as opposed to the people that are together? You don't hardly ever hear about the people that are together, but you may hear about the one or two that get divorced. So I'm like, wait a minute. But in the Hmong community, there's like hundreds and thousands of Hmong people that are
Yeah,
divorced.
but if it's like an interracial relationship, it's a big deal.
Exactly,
Is that what you're trying to say?
but that's what I'm saying. It's like you make one seem like it's perfectly fine if they get divorced, but then the other way, it's like, oh, it's
I
a
told
sin.
you so.
It's taboo. You can't do that. No. That's going to happen. That's inevitable. It's going to head in that direction regardless because she's not your kind. Da, 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 da. But I'm like, well, my kind also goes in the same direction sometimes.
Yeah, like it's just weird. People have told, like, on both sides before we even got married and people were in their feelings. We've heard like, oh, he's gonna leave you for his own kind, or like the other way around.
Already left.
She's gonna leave you for her own kind, or she's gonna divorce you and you'll have to pay child support.
I'm like, well, at that point,
I mean, I think divorce is not a matter of because we're an interracial couple. People that get divorced because of different reasons.
Yeah,
it won't be because exactly. It's not because this person is this color and this person is that color or whatever.
But,
so
yeah, like I can't say I didn't date a Hmong girl, but you do date. Or I have dated Hmong girls before, and then that's when it clicked into me. I was like, let me try something different and see if there's any difference, right? And so that's where I was like, there is no difference. A woman is a woman, a man is a man, a woman is a woman. And so I looked
that's true.
I kind of eliminated the race, and I just went towards the character, the sexual makeup of the person, so if she's a woman, I'm pretty sure that time of the month she's gonna be the same as the other woman.
Anyways, why do y'all love to do that? Like, I don't even understand. No, you guys are the problem, clearly. Anyways,
we put up with a lot, guys.
We do too. Women do too. Anyways, but yes, that assumption is not true for us, at least. I mean, there are people, I've heard people say, oh, I will not date a Hmong guy or Hmong guy and ish. And I really hate that. And I've heard some people say, look, African men ain't ish. They're all blah, blah, blah. And they're all like this. And I really hate, that's one of my biggest pet peeve when people like just categorize a whole group as being the same. Like, people are individuals. And I really want people to understand that, like, he's not the same as another Hmong guy. And it's not that every Hmong guy that I'm attracted to or something like that, So it's like, people are individuals. People have different personalities. That's what you have to look at the end of the day, not the fact that one did you wrong, so all of them ain't ish. Or like, someone hurt your feelings and so they're all like a certain way. So yes, that's one. Do you have any? I would say another one that people kind of assume, like people always say like, oh, like your kids are going to be so cute, or like, like you guys are going to have cute kids, or you just want cute kids. You want your kids to have good hair. And I'm just like, what is good hair? I don't know about you. I don't know about y'all, but I was a cute baby. Okay. And I'm not mixed. I'm not mixed. So when people say that, it's kind of like, what does that even mean? Like, I mean, we thought our kids were going to look weird.
Well, the 3D image of
Marley,
our daughter, she looked like an alien.
She did. She was hiding her face and her eyes were like this big in the 3D. I was like, what kind of, but that 3D image, they offered to do mine for free because they were testing it out. So I don't really even trust that they did it correctly. So
they filmed an alien kid.
Oh, like, we're trying out 3D. So, are you willing to get yours done for free? And I was like, oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, and then she was disappointed.
And Marley, I was like, why is Marley?
You get what you pay for.
I'm gonna have to find this image to show y'all. It's too funny. Yeah, it's just another assumption that it just kind of makes me feel kind of weird, like when people say that.
I guess it comes from maybe in the past where a lot of mixing was going on, and you know, maybe in our situation, right, the kids would take more of a lighter shade of brown. So, you know, people would automatically assume that, oh, he's very light, and, you know, their kids are going to be...
I've heard people comment.
Their kids are going to be, you know, lighter and prettier and more handsome because they're lighter. But to me, like, you know, I like dark women, you know. Like, honestly, like, for me, like, growing up, it may just been how, you know, where I grew up, or what, you know. So, like, it never really bothered me, the skin color of the person. It was more the personality of the person, you know. Like the skin color, like, to me, like they say black is beautiful, and I really do believe that, you know. Like some women, man, even though they're dark skinned, they have like that complexion that you're like, wow, you know, just add a little bit of me and
really? So that's what you thought, huh? That is funny.
We make some milk chocolate.
Oh gosh. That's funny. You are messly. What's another assumption?
That she's only in it for her papers.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I was offended at this story. We went to California when I met his other family members, and they were I won't say who it was, but just an uncle, I guess, right? Uncle, grandpa.
I think uncle.
An uncle. So we were talking, you know, they were nice. They were very nice to me, you know, welcoming. You know, most of his family members are cool people. So we were just having a conversation, and they were like, oh, you know, because I'm African, so I think there's this, what is it? Is it called a stigma? Like there's this assumption, I guess, that like a lot of Africans are illegal, I guess, or like they need papers, or they came here, they're on a visa, and they try to find somebody to marry them so they can be in the U.S. Basically, there's this assumption. So we were talking. We were having this conversation, and he just casually asked, "Are you a U.S. citizen?" And I was like, yes. And I was just like, wow, why would you ask me that? Like, are you trying to assume? Are you trying to say something? Like, are you assuming? Because it was like, do you love our son? And then do you have a visa? I mean, what am I trying to say? He said, what did he say, babe? He said, are you a U.S. citizen or something like that? Or like, it was basically saying that I have papers. And I was just like,
she needs papers.
No, I don't. I'm just like, no, I'm already a citizen. So yeah. That's that. Or I think another big assumption is that I'm with you for your money. Because again, they think some people think all Asians are made out of money. All Asians are prosperous or whatever, and that's not true. Okay, that's not true. You know,
other Asians.
For other Asians, what do you mean? Whatever. No, I am not with this man for his money. There was somebody commented on one of my little reels that I love to make. He said she just knew he had good credit. You know, like commented that, but it was just, I was just like, whatever. But yeah, I think people do make that assumption that, like, you know, you're balling or something.
Balling.
I wish. But yeah.
Basketball court.
So that's just another one that people have made. And like, you know, nowadays I don't know. I have not gotten a lot of negative comments, but recently someone did comment on my Instagram, under my Instagram picture, and decided to tag everybody that had commented and said just like racist stuff about Asians. And I was just like, what? Like we were going to Georgia that day, and I took a nap. I always take a nap when we drive to Georgia. And I woke up and I see all these messages, and I look on my Instagram, I'm like, what is going on? And so this guy had made all this comment, and one of the people he tagged was my niece. So she went back and forth with him, and it was just so like, I'm like, why are people like this? Like, are you just so like, is your life so miserable that you have to make such racist comments and just like, people like that? I just pray for them. It's just ridiculous. People see interracial relationships and it makes them upset. I don't fully understand why.
I feel like their thought process is there's so many of your own kind out there. Why didn't you give them an opportunity? And I can understand.
Yeah, but you have to understand that sometimes people fall in love without like.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing that some people don't understand, right? We're in a melting pot society right now to where other races, other ethnicities are very, very accessible. So your options that may be in front of you is someone that's of a different race, right? So let's say that I am Hmong, and I'm sitting here waiting for that Hmong girl to come around, right? While this one, who's Nigerian, is right in front of me. She's right in front of me. She checks off every checkbox that I have in regards to a woman that I want to be with, right? Am I going to continue to wait for that Hmong girl who's probably still in Laos, farming up in the hills, and when am I going to get there? Am I going to wait till I'm like 65 before I go out there to get her, to bring her back? No, it's becoming a situation where, like, do you wait for that person, or do you go with the person that fits your ideal person that you want to be with?
Yeah, that's the thing. If people just looked at people as individuals, you just looked at the person, and you see that, oh, this person checks off everything that I want in a man. Oh, but he's not Black. So like you said, like, who cares? Like, who cares? You deserve to be happy. Like, that, my thing in life is just to find joy, find joy and be happy and live your life. Who cares what anybody else thinks? At the end of the day, it's your life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, to touch on something that my wife said the last time, right, about Sunisa, right? So I was just thinking about it, right? All these haters of Sunisa were getting up early, watching her, cheering her on while she was out there, on the podium wearing gold, silver, and bronze in Tokyo, right? So I say to everybody that is a Sunisa fan, now that she's no longer on that podium in Tokyo, we should just cheer her on, because now, instead of gold, silver, and bronze, she's got chocolate around her neck. So everybody should just celebrate that, cheer her on, support that, and let that go and see how far she gets with it, because we never know. You never know, because, this could be a long-term relationship. This could be a short-term relationship. Exactly. This could even end up just a friendship. But everybody assumes that a person dating another person becomes, like a family. It never happens that way. Some people date for 10 years and then end up going their separate ways. Mm-hmm. Some people date for 2 weeks and have 10 kids and are still married. So we never know, so don't be all caught up in, that person's race or that person's color, because at the end of the day, it becomes where, how nice is that person towards you or towards the other person? Like, basically,
How does that person make
how
you
are they
feel?
treating? Yeah, how are they treating each other? You know, if it's an abusive relationship, anybody would hate, you know, that person to be with the other person
Yeah,
who's being.
the issues of marriage or like relationship or situationships, whatever people call it these days.
Yeah.
The issue is not because you're with a different race. I mean, there might be issues that come up like culture, like understanding people each other's cultural differences.
Yeah.
Those might come up, yes, but it's not to say that, oh, it's because this person's black that they ended up having a divorce or they ended up breaking up or anything like that. That can happen with anybody. So just let's all stop doing let's all stop saying that and
get the stereotype out the way.
And, yes. It's the stereotypes.
Live a free life, you know. Right now just live beyond the color.
I agree. Good job, babe. But yes, we will end the video right here. If you guys have any comments or experiences that you've experienced, or if you've ever made any of these assumptions, let us know in the comments. Don't be shy. Let us know in the comments. We'd love to read them. And yeah, we will end it at that, and we will see you in the next video. All right, have a blessed week. Bye.